Alright, I'm here to show you how a progress bar works in Android. And maybe, who's played Temple Run here? Yeah, it's made with Unity. And I'll show you how to use it a bit. Yeah, Eclipse is the IDE you use to do Android development. And then with that you either use the NDK or the SDK.
Hey guys, ask Tom questions if you know, I think he's going to, he's got no schedule, no plan, so just ask him what you want to know to get out of what you want to know, basically.
Everything seems to be working.
Oh, well, everything outside's this.
Which plugins do you use? In what sense?
The ADT plugin. You can get the SDK from Android.com, and then you have a ADT plugin, and it makes the SDK work with the Eclipse IDE.
That's software development kit.
So,
I think what I'll do is I'll stand outside for a little bit, so if anyone comes up to ask me.
I can do that.
Do you want to do it? So Android has... Yep. Oh, it will be right next to the Android. It's run by this student.
yeah, alright, so I'm just opening up this project.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Everything's going okay?
Yeah.
If you want, you can move your keyboard and mouse pad up there. That way you can look at that screen rather than this one. Plus, you'll be closer to the microphone.
Yeah. I'll do that.
We'll force you to stand. That's an interesting mouse pad. I like it.
Can you make this bigger?
Make what?
Like that full size?
Just tap that and it's full screen.
Yeah.
Do you want the actual computer sounds?
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
Alright, so... So the SDK is run by Java, and this is this file here, the .java, is where everything happens. So this you first got the package name up here. Can everyone see that? And then you've got a whole lot of imports for menus, web view. There's a progress bar one down there. This here declares that it's a web view object. This inflates the menu, which will... On Android, there's a... Who has Android phones here? Yeah, there's a menu button and it pops up with a little thing at the bottom, and it's quite custom for Android apps to have that. And that's the bit of code that inflates that and pops it up so you can see it. This is the requesting that, for example, I've got facebook.com here. Yeah. this is the back button. This bit here. It says on key down. So if you press the back button, it goes back in web view. So if you've clicked somewhere and you want to go back, you press the back button and it'll go back. This is declaring the progress bar here. This bit of code here is just setting up a few parameters. For example, there's no title bar, so in Android there's a native title bar that you can pull down and see notifications, and that in pre-Android 3, where you can put it full screen, the title bar will disappear, except for example Android 3 devices where.
Tom, can you just explain what people would use WebView for? Like, what's the application? What's the target application? So, a lot of people wouldn't even know, perhaps they don't know what WebView would be used for.
Well, for example, Facebook, they do use WebView, but for you people that use Facebook on your Android phones, do any of you do that? Yeah, on some devices it was quite unstable because they were still using WebView, but they were downloading data and then redrawing it, and that made it unstable. So I actually made an app that just got the mobile site and put it on the screen, and that was more stable than the default one. And yeah, so that was quite successful actually. You can turn it into a product and sell it. And things like this is settings. That there is set zoom build. This is zoom and password. Like say when you log into a page, you don't want to put your password in all the time, so that saves it or gives you the option to save it. And this bit, so this bit here loads the loading bar. So if I run this is where you debug everything. So I'll just go through the loading bar here. So if this is just defining that this is 100 points of so it gets data and the amount of data, it's like as a fraction, it just puts the amount of data that there is to the amount of data that it has received out of 100, and then it makes a progress bar up the top, which is done with the XML file, which I'll go through later. And that at the end's just return false. So if it's not loading anything, it doesn't request this loading bar from here, and then it won't go to the XML to load the progress bar. This.
Can you tell me what that is? What's this environment you just started?
This is the emulator. So this is like an Android device here. So you can see without having to put it on a Android device, because if you want to put on an Android device, you have to digitally sign it and everything, and then move it to.
So it's essentially a way to practice your program without actually putting it on the device.
Just to make the testing it, so you can just test it quicker and do little changes and then do it again. But sometimes it's actually not. It can be buggy and slow. So yeah. And this is for 2.2 actually, and this is the layout. This is XML now. if you can, just opening the XML file. So basically what the Android development, it's Java and XML talking to each other that pulls up different. All the layouts are done with XML, and then you do all the functions with Java and stuff. So this bit here is the progress bar, and you can switch it to this graphical layout, and there's the progress bar there, which becomes transparent when it's not loading, but it just shows everything as when it's just default. So there's the progress bar. It's 5 pixels in, 5 pixels wide. There's just a whole lot of parameters for it. Yeah, as I said before, that gets a bit unstable.
So what version of Android is that right now?
That's Android 3, which is actually old now. Yeah.
Tablets on Android 4 or not?
Yeah, they can. I just haven't got the Android 4 emulator. And you go to, I think that's it there. There's the Android SD. Here's the Android SDK manager. Oh, I've got it all actually. So there's the different, up here you've got 403, which is ice cream. That's ice cream. There's all of Android 3. And then you've got the older versions, which you still want to test on if you're making apps. A lot of the, like for example, 2.3 is 2 versions old, but 2 versions of Android old, because there's 3 and then there's Android 4. But even over 50% of people still run Android 2.3 on their phones. Yep. Question? Yeah.
So you might, just for the people that came late, Tom, you might want to just highlight that what the tool chain is, and then the targeting what type of Android version.
Right now, we've got Android iOS development. When this is finished, we'll be
Yeah.
adding the student development program. So feel free to take a CD by if that's interesting.
So we start with the clips.
Yeah, so this is Eclipse, everyone, that you haven't been here, and this is what most Android apps are made with. And this here, I don't have an internet connection, so this should load here. So there's the Java here, Java file here, and then there's the XML file here that does all the layout, and menu there. That's a button. So when you're on the Facebook website, I just on here when I clicked it. When you click that, there was a menu inflator, and then in here it would go. That there, that was the button, and it would inflate that button and then go to there. Change that though. And then here, when you've clicked it, this bit of code here goes and de-inflates it, so it puts it away. And and this is as well, this is at the top. Close that. There is actually a few bugs with the Eclipse IDE. For example, an RID error that you have to, there's about 3 ways of fixing it. When you first declare a web view in a new project, you need to either restart it, or in the manifest you there's an option where you say don't worry about this certain error, which is in here somewhere. So in here, that's the package name, version, no title bar. So that links with the Java code I was doing before. Android SDK version 8 means 2.2, 9 is 2.3, and then so on. And when you install Android applications from the internet, it has a list of permissions it needs, so it needs to be in there. So if you don't have that in there, it doesn't allow you to connect to the internet. So you need that in there to request things from the internet. And also things like if you make an app with GPS location, you need to have it in there, like so. Except, yeah. This is the icon logo, which you can see. There's the icon logo, and there's 4 different screen resolutions. There's HDPI, LDPI, NDPI, and XHDPI. So that's just very little screens like idioses, and then you go all the way up to XHDPI, which is your big, newer, modern tablets. And you go in here, and that's the logo there. So depending on what screen size your device is, it would start up. It would use different logos, so it would look better and resolution and stuff. And these are strings. Strings can be used for variables and stuff. For like if you want to have GPS location, you'd have, like, for example, I was trying to do a coordinates app, and you have a string in the Java, for example, hello, and then you'd call it somewhere else, and you'd just have to say hello, but the actual information is all this here that you can set as a variable. So, if any of you want to try that up, I've got, if you type in Tommy Twister to Google Play on Android Market, and click on the Twitter for Tablets one, it's got the same source code, same code as this here. And I think I'll wrap that up for Eclipse and show you this thing called Unity. And if games like Temple Run and a lot of 3D games on Android and iPhone are made with Unity. And what this basically is a 3D, based on a 3D. It just creates it's like a complex piece of 3D CAD that you can move objects around, and yeah, it's based around a camera. You just set a camera, like for example, for a game, platform game, you'd have it following a character, and then you can set colliders and make boxes and stuff. And Unity also compiles for Android, iPhone, Xbox, PS3, Wii, and computer and Mac. So it's quite, if you create something with this, you can distribute it to multiple platforms quite well. And with Unity, the basic, it's made up of scenes. So if you make a game, you have like a menu scene and then a credit scene and then all your different levels of scenes, and then you link the scenes together. So this is a map here. Can't actually. And then there's two tabs here. This is a scene where you can edit things. Actually. And then this, so this here, this is just debugging it. That's step, pause, play. So if I play this, it should. Alright, that one. I'll pull up another project. Things like EA Games has got a very a big partnership with Unity. So quite some of their games are made with Unity. Like, I wouldn't say Battlefield, but some of their other less smaller games might parts of it might be made with Unity. Yeah, so this game here, you see you can run around and jump, but I'm not sure how to jump. And no, it's not. And so you'd go, so this bit, this is just a library, this section over here is just a library of scenery that you have, and then this is the actual. So that's the player there. And so you go back into this scene, edit. So yeah, so there's that platform, and then there'll be a script to that down here. So that platform was moving up and down. You can go into this script, open it up, and it's either done with, well, this one's done with JavaScript, and you can have different you can either have JavaScript or C. So this here is just a bit of programming to make the platform move up and down. So this dead zone here is if you fall into it, it will, like, you'll die, and then it'll put you back to the last checkpoint. So yeah, so you don't just keep falling through the map and then die, and then just keep falling, and yeah, that'd be a glitch. And there's lighting as well, as you can see there. This is a very basic form of lighting. When you start making 3D games like car racing games and stuff, you'd want to focus. You'd have to focus more on the lighting and stuff. But for something like this with just blocks, it wouldn't matter. And because this here looks a bit of a prototype game, so there's another one here. Still not sure how to jump. Oh, so see that automatically, that these blocks, all the player would have a script in it, so it would propel the player up. So this is trying to replicate Doodle Jump. And yeah, so this is a split screen game, which would probably be used for Xbox, or like tablets maybe. So you could multiplay. And there are, in this character here, there's about 40 different pictures that it cycles through to make a smooth image. So sprites, and you can also change this bit here. This inspector can also edit the script a bit. You might not be able to do everything through here, and there's also the Unity asset store that you can go to. For example, Playmaker. If you don't know how to code, you can use this bit of software called Playmaker. It costs about $50, and you can change all of this and make a full-featured game without any coding knowledge.
Do you have an example of first-person view that shoot them up?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll try to find a more finished. So, for example, when you make there's a ad plugin. So when you make a game, you can put ads in it. That's only for Android though. That might. On this one, see, you can actually run around and... Alright, is there any questions? Yep.
Do you get paid for having ads, or do you just like have sponsorship or something?
I haven't tried, but you have a AdSense account from Google, and you can, per clicks or views, you can get paid for that. I haven't done that, so I wouldn't know. Is there any other questions? Relate. Yes?
How did you get into Android
Yeah, I used to play with Linux a lot, and there's the Synaptics Package Manager, which is like an open app store, which was long before any of this, the App Store, the Apple App Store, or the Android market. And then there was a few devices, and then I ended up getting it, and then looking on Android.com and figuring out, and then I figured out how to make a app from that, just reading through tutorials and stuff. And since Android's heavily Linux based, it made it easy. It was kind of compatible. Yeah. Is there any other questions with Unity or Eclipse? You're right. I think I'm done. Yeah.
How long have you been coding Java for?
About a year and a bit. So, yeah. But making games with Eclipse isn't nice. It's you're better off using something like this and getting that you can put a lot less time into it and get a better product. You
don't make games with Eclipse, you make games with Unity.
Yeah. You can make games with Eclipse. There are examples out there, but it's very, very hard. So this tool here is more efficient for games, and Eclipse is more efficient for apps. And so, yeah.
How much prior knowledge would you recommend someone have before they dive into Unity?
I think it's easier in a way than Eclipse.
So it's a good place to just
Yeah,
muck
if
around in
you
and learn
like playing games and you're interested in, for example, some of EA games and how it works, that Unity is a good start. Unity's free just to develop Mac and Windows games. If you want to do things like Xbox and Android and stuff, it costs more, but sometimes they have free either a trial or free licenses that they give out every now and then that you can get to develop for iPhone and Android, which are always good to keep your eye open for, so you don't have to pay a fair bit of money for it. Yeah.
Okay, so that was all of your stuff?
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much, Tom.
Do you want some help packing this stuff up? Or?
No, it's right.
Well done. Not a problem.